Understanding strategic capabilities is critical to identifying where an organisation can gain competitive advantage in an industry. Looking at our subject framework funnel, we can see that we analyse strategic, operational and people and organisational drivers as part of the internal analysis funnel. So out of these drivers, where do we get our strategic capabilities? A strategic capability can occur anywhere in your business. It can be a person, a division, a process, or anything else that gives you an advantage over your competitors, which is key here. It's not a strategic capability if all of your competitors have the same capability. There are 4 tests for each capability you analyse that enable you to determine if there is a competitive advantage. The tests are: is it valuable? Is it rare? Is it difficult to imitate or replicate? Is it substitutable? It's important to remember that an organisation might have a strategic capability in one area but not in others. For example, Unilever is a multinational manufacturer of consumer goods, from food products to cleaning products. Unilever does not use particularly different manufacturing techniques or distribution or use IT in a different way to its competitors, but it does have a strategic capability in understanding consumers, innovation and branding. It's difficult to conduct the 4 tests on resources or capabilities without having intimate knowledge of the organisation. So for our example, we decided to look at ourselves. As a registered training organisation, Knowledge Equity operate in a similar manner to other education providers. However, we have developed specific resources and capabilities which we can analyse now. Video production of our educational content. Most competitors outsource this function. However, we developed ours in-house, which makes it rare. The capability is valuable as we can write, film, edit and publish content much faster and cheaper than our competitors. It also allows us to keep our content more up to date and more relevant to our customers. This capability cannot be imitated easily. We went through a number of hurdles to get where we are and implemented a tech startup style process, or basically test, learn, develop and retest. Our capability in this area is non-substitutable at the moment. Competitors can use third-party production companies, but these companies can only provide filming and editing. At Knowledge Equity, we perform the process from start to end. Often, the non-substitutable test is the hardest to meet because after time, most capabilities can be substituted with another that comes into the market. The next example is on our technical experts. At Knowledge Equity, we pride ourselves on the skills and experience in our team. Some of us have an academic background, but not all. We bring deep experience from a variety of industries, which is different to some of our competitors, and have used that to our advantage in the way we engage our customers and build our content. We don't teach using traditional methods, nor do we operate as a team in a traditional manner. We don't have a formal management structure, which allows us to be very flexible in how we approach the high workload. People's roles are interchangeable. However, we have employed people with specific expertise outside just being a CPA subject matter expert. Some of these areas include financial risk management consulting, auditing, and media production, as we mentioned before. We also have expertise in marketing and social media strategy, which has enabled us to build a community of followers in 6 months that has already surpassed our competitors. These skills are valuable to delivering high quality content, but also generating other revenue streams for the business. Some of these skills, such as the marketing, are not rare across all industry, but are rare in our segment of online education. They cannot be easily imitated by our competitors who operate using much more traditional education business models. To substitute this capacity, we would need to outsource all of our employees or build some pretty fancy robots. It's unlikely to work. At this point, I won't talk any more about us or we'll give away all of our secrets. So let's recap. When considering an organisation's strategic capabilities, remember to apply the 4 tests. A capability can be a business operation, a person, a particular process, or even something else. Remember that you are determining whether that strategic capability gives the organisation an advantage over their competitors in their industry. And all of your tests have to be met to have that strategic capability. You then expect it to influence which strategic options you choose. It will also likely be a part of the risk assessment of your strategy, as it is critical to the organisation successfully implementing its strategy.